So when you log into the CrawlQ as a tool, you see this kind of dashboard. You can also start with a fresh project. So you create a project here, it's a workspace name, and you attach it to a domain name. So I have already a couple of workspaces I have created, and slightly the workflow is different. So when you start, you can go to an easy path or you can go to a deep dive path. But I will try to explain both the paths. So imagine that I already created my workspace and now I'm here. Now,
the workspace, I think, is that just for each different client or for each project, your type?
So suppose if you buy in lifetime deal, you can add at least 10 workspace. So if you have 10 customers, if you're a freelance writer or if you're a founder, you wanted to try 10 different buyer personas, buyer approach, anything that you wanted to combine, is always one workspace you want to attach with one domain, but you can also create multiple version of that workspace and attach it to a domain. So in my previous example, let's say that this workspace accountant is attached to forestbrown.co.uk. Then there is another workspace called B2B content automation, is attached to Quantum Solution, and more of them. Then some of them is attached to something else, right? So it's a kind of a domain name. So the last one was virtual event, is the name of the workspace. It is attached to a website, marqueeevents.ca. And then this is really taking care of the connection between your workspace and the website. So it is important that we do this way, because whole framework in the CrawlQ is designed to help you to build your authority in front of your target customers. You have a question?
Yeah, that's fine. So obviously, and then when you fill in each workspace, that's where you tell like what kind of language, what kind of voice you've got, what kind of customer, the niche to market, and then the AI or the machine learning can then better adapt and create more content to learn.
That's the idea. You're not like at the first instance or the first time when you create, you obviously get into this, and then now because we fixed the workspace, so we are not like mixing information between even 2 or 3 different workspaces. We are working with a very focused approach, and then now we are going to feed more information, which will help us to create more contextual content, more specific content that we want to generate. Because if we don't fix like this, then the thing's going to mix up from one workspace to other, even for yourself, right? If suppose you have 2 projects, 2 clients, one is for the dog food nutrition and one another client that you're working is on the cryptocurrency. They're completely different niches, but you as a freelance writer can be interested in these 2 topics because you're working with these 2 clients. Or yourself, you might have a need to create 2 different variations of that project because you wanted to try A/B test different ideas, right? So that also works in that situation. But before I jump into the tool, I want to spend some time so you understand the framework that we are trying to implement here. So what is your background, by the way? Are you a digital marketer or?
Facebook adverts. I make a couple of websites and sales funnels, like ClickFunnels.
So you manage some of the websites for your clients, like you're a freelancer or a digital marketing agency yourself?
Yeah, freelance.
Right. So basically you have a portfolio of clients who are coming to you for different services. Could be Facebook ads, could be development of a website, right?
Yes. So some are personal trainers, some are say landscape gardeners or a local business, that kind of thing.
Right. Imagine that I am one of your clients and I come to you and I ask you, Dev, can you please help me in developing my website? And of course, you can help because you have worked in the past, and perhaps you can quickly create a WordPress website because you have worked with the themes, you know how it works. You are going to quickly install Yoast SEO plugin, and then you start also helping this client to get some bit more business information. like what is the main goal of this website? Is it e-commerce, or is it like a simple gardener in this particular area who want to get more clients and engagement, right? So this sort of information you will ask, and then you will help her or him to come up with basic website, right? And that's how it goes. And 99% of the cases we start thinking about when we put a website, most immediate thought that come to us is about search engine optimization. And
Yes.
over the last 10 years and over many years, like people have done so much on this area that it's almost never, it's very difficult to take a step back.
Yeah, SEO is a big. Well, actually, do the SEO for the clients. Forgot to say that as well.
Right, right. So you're also busy with the SEO, and the moment I speak SEO, there are different things. So you might be busy with meta tags, meta description, H1 tag, H2 tag, but you also might be very busy with your client to identify certain types of keywords and their volume and their CPC value in order to identify high volume and low CPC keywords, so you get rank higher, right? So that's the
Yeah.
goal all the time. Now the the thing is, this is like webmaster or the Google's idea to really create these rules and ask everyone who is creating website to follow these principles, so it become very easy for them. And that's why most of us start directly from here, from the right hand side, extreme right hand side. And per se, fundamentally, this is not wrong approach. This is right. This works in the industry. But if you have noticed current trends, like everyone want to go online, everyone want to have a website, everyone
Oh,
rank higher for certain keywords. And over the past few years, the search engine optimization algorithms also changed. So Google is no more now a search engine. It's more like an answering machine. So you have a specific intent, the purchase, consideration, knowledge intent. Why you have intent? Because as a customer you have certain pain points, you have certain dreams, desires, you have suspicions, you have some past lessons, roadblocks. This is your one person inside, right? Your psychographic image inside you, who is going on you on the Google and asking very specific questions. And these questions, when are fired to Google, Google is also trying to improve from last 2 3 years, and instead giving like answers, it gives you full-fledged solution to that problem, right? It has,
yes.
no people ask more. It has some snippets, and it's trying to give a structured knowledge graph and solution. So it has gone much more than the original search engine purpose. It is kind of answering machine. The fundamental thing that we are doing is not wrong, but it's not good enough. The keyword, the volume approach that we do, competitor analysis we do, it's not good enough. Because if we are already established player in the industry, if we have written already a lot of content, then of course this is still going to help get more and more traffic. We might rank for those words, especially in UK, US, where you are native speakers. A lot of demand for this competition, right? So it's
Yeah.
harder to rank things in these countries compared to a country like Morocco, where it is easy to rank certain things based on just keywords. So the competition is high. Everyone want to go online, but the problem is this fundamental approach, which we are all following, doesn't work in a very highly competitive environment where you are just starting or you have not enough content. So in this tool, instead of starting from this side on the right, extreme right, we want to start from the left side. And this left side is a deep dive into your market, into your target audience. Who are your audience for whom you are creating your service, product? And it's not only touching the content part, but it's really deeply going into the emotional and the semantic connection between what you have to offer as your product and service and what your target audience are thinking. So this approach is again trying to get us into a deep dive, really trying to understand their pain points. And we will going to get some nice research here which will help us to get more thorough understanding, deeper understanding of our target audience. And it's not necessary that even if you rank for a long question, right? You can even rank for a long question. Let me put you example. So people might be searching how to host a virtual event without being a expert in sales and marketing, right? This could be a question that people might be asking. Now imagine if you have a authority content, and when I say authority content, you have created a lot of content around this particular topic, then even if this whole thing do not have lot of volume CPC, because you won't find it in the AdWord, this because all volume CPC data come from AdWord. So it's not a keyword, but it's a long tail question. Even though you don't find in this volume CPC, but it will get a lot of relevant traffic to your website, because people who will type this question has a specific desire, specific question, and Google will throw your site, and you will get not only traffic but right traffic and right conversion also. So this approach of search engine optimization can bring us a lot of traffic, but not like really right traffic and conversion. But if we follow this approach of going deep into the market research, then we can not only get right traffic but right level of conversion also. So that's the idea. So when I go into niche, it's like different information that we first organize. So for example, in this project, we set it up like this. So this niche was SMBs and virtual sales assistant. Then we go more deeper. We narrow down the approach. And we say these are small, medium businesses, business owners, and sales manager who are interested in virtual events. That's not good enough still. So we want to go more deeper. We want to call it micro niche. So we want to call it like SMBs, business owners, and sales manager who are interested in higher engagement and sales using virtual event. And then this vertical is virtual event management planning services. This is my ideal prospect. So in this case, my ideal prospect is a middle-aged SMB, business owner, and sales manager who want to use virtual event to get higher engagement and sales. It can be more specific actually. It can be a bit more detailed than this. More specific we are, more we get more ideas. In the tool, there's a lot of helper functions which help you to understand why this information is really needed. And there are a lot of details like how you should structure this information. So in the first place, we're trying to structure the information. Here, you can also generate AI based insights, which will help you to reshape your ideas and thoughts. So it's already generated option I'm showing you where all the green ticks, that means we already generated this. So then you can get into demographics. So this website was this. The good thing about it, Dev, is that you just need to fill first two input. And then when you say fill with AI, it automatically fill this information.
Yeah.
In 80% of the cases, it is good enough. But when it is not good enough, you need to clean it up a little bit. You save it. And then once you save it, you can generate extra insights and retread through it. So this is something like a setup in the beginning, which really can help you to get more specific content, because most of the AI based tools, they ask you very little information, and from that they try to generate some information based on trial and error. And sometimes you find this content good enough, sometimes not good. But here we are getting more information from you, and then try to get you more specific and accurate content. But now what happens, like when you try to get very specific and accurate content, of course sometimes you get lesser quality but more specific. So there is always a trade-off between, you can generate a long form content, blog content on, let's say, dog nutrition, and but this long form content is that everyone know about it. You're not going to create a new value out of it, and it will come out very nicely structured. But here, because we are working with specific deep pain points and solutions, so you get the content which you need little bit cleaning, but the final content is 10 times higher value, because it is really touching the pain points, it's really touching the specific part that your service, your product is, right? So that's the kind of subtle difference between general AI tool and this tool. So hopefully that make the context bit more better, like why we are trying to capture more information here. So you define your demographics, semantics, in this case, psychographics. So you say What is big emotional payoff for my target audience? What is their single big desire? My target audience would like to be seen as a leader in their industry and have more sales. What is a single big ideal person that your target audience want to become? What is single big problem they're facing? People are not engaging in my content. That is their problem. Single big problem. You're agitating this problem. So these already apply some copywriting formulas, and based on that formulas we get a very structured information, right, that we can use. And nice thing is that you don't need to really fill by hand everything, but you need to really supervise this. So once you get the information, you need to go through it, clean it up, and you can also generate this PDF report. So now suppose if I'm your client, I want to come to you and I say to you, Dev, can you create a website for me? This is my target audience.
Yeah.
And like I provide you like 2 3 information, but now from this information you can go more deeper into this. So you can really surprise your client with your services. You can go more and more deeper and try to get more specific answer. So here it says define your product's emotional hook, define your identity to your niche, define your association with your niche. And it's not necessary that you need to complete all of these, but more you complete, more better output it can create, more better opportunity it can create for your client. So you can
Okay.
enhance that services to your client. If your client is like not that willing to spend that much amount, then of course you can like say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. But if your client is serious, want to provide more information, you can work more hours on it. You can come out with really very good quality content in there. So, but this is very first step. And the first step was to really go into niche. What are the current environments and trends impacting our target audience? What is the promise that we are making to our target audience? What are the different activities and unique and useful insights that we are going to share with our target audience in kind of summary? So this start thing could be your minimum bit, but you can also spend little time here and directly jump to more sort of content creation process. If you have the framework works like this, so it also try to gather information about your competitor. It also try to get information about your website's topic structure, and then combining this information is part of the content automation. So not all the work that you do here is currently tied up. There are some loose ends, but we are developing in the backend more and more better way to map all this information into the content automation process. So when you do the content automation, either you can start working with a predefined sales copy, and this sales copy I will just get from my developer showed me, but I can do it also generate here. But most of this sales copy is like you have a predefined structure of a landing page or a sales letter, and all this information you can get organized like this. So you get already a lot of inspiration for your project, your ideas. You get a
Okay.
structure, and you can come back and refine it again. So let's say, for example, I'm interested in creating a landing page, or let's say sales based script. There are more than 200 scripts that we have collected over the internet, be it the YouTube video scripts, be it paid funnel like Facebook ad or other stuff. Here there are PPC campaign, content funnel.
Just show me an example then of either like a webinar or a sales page, how that
Yeah,
would work,
yeah,
like a lead page.
I'll show you the example. So there are so many of these. It depends on your use case, what you would like to build. So for example, I take one of these, let's say content authority short sales letter script. So here, what I need to do is I need to define what I want to do. So for example, I want to create a landing page for online virtual event hosting software. There's something that I want to do. Here, there are a lot of questions basically. They're pre-filled, but in case when you start from scratch, you are going to give it 2, 3, or 4 questions. It's like 30%. So 3 or 4 questions you provide, and then this button is activated. Fill with it.
The customer persona and like the details about the product.
Right. The customer persona is here, and it is already taken care because this is what we filled initially, right? Our market.
Yes.
And now, because it is already taken care, so we create a smart prompt using what you want to do. And these are very specific questions that is needed to get the answers to this. So when you answer 2, 3 questions, it works similarly in that way. You're going to say, okay, fill with AI, and then you can review these answers. And again, this is going to create very quality content because you are going to review them. It will take you 15, 20 minutes, but also it's not that you are going to write them by hand from scratch. So this saves time and of course your effort. But then you can go back and generate this whole copy. So this is what it gave me as a final output. Sometimes it's very structured output because I chose very short script. But it says me here you should place your video, here you should be your text. You can really arrange this text well. And of course you can zoom in here. It's a full editor here. So you can edit this information. You can also take the HTML code here. Like you should be able to ask it to give me HTML code. You can directly edit here. You can design everything that you wanted to design as if you will design Elementor, WordPress Elementor. You can insert media files. You can restructure, arrange it. Currently, I think some mess up with this script, but you can write it like bullet points, and this works quite well. If I go back here, also what you see here is based on my topic interest. I get all lot of content brief. So what are the top 10 headlines if I want to create this? What are virtual event, fundraising event, benefits of hosting virtual fundraising event? It's like
That's a lot like that Russell ClickFunnels or Russell Brunson, where he's got what's it called? Have you heard of what's that software Russell Brunson's got from ClickFunnels and Funnel Scripts? I
right.
don't think it's as good as the AI. I think
No, they don't use AI, ClickFunnels or these. They ask you to fill all the information, but also they don't give you relevant ideas here.
yeah, I think this is literally just a fill in the blank structure, which is sort of done automatically because it's just like filled in for you. But you can do that yourself with Google Sheets. Exactly.
It gives you like already 70 to 80% steering, and it is right. It is in the right direction because it is giving you input based on your lot of market research data. So now the remaining 30% work is to go through more resources. And if you have content writer or yourself, you are going to spend less time and be more relevant to it. It not only give you this whole headlines, paragraphs, the topics that you need to incorporate in your landing page for this. If it is relevant, it also generates some questions, reviews. There's some small bug in this section, so I cannot show you right now. But here you see again, call your market research back. So you can also search back all the pain points, all the information that you provided to it. And
right. So when I've got the bullet point sections, like this is the pain or this is your this is the features, you've got plenty to choose from.
yeah,
And even if you don't use it 100%, you can tidy it up. Or
right.
instead of staring at a blank screen wondering what to write, at least you've got something to start with and you can just basically edit it then.
Right. And what we are trying to do is like, even if you don't use this content in the end, but since you have created, you have answered those and you have filtered, it will get better and better next time when you create another content. So I generally encourage people to create more content because then you have created more specified information, domain knowledge in the backend. And what we are now currently busy is implementing some search functionality here. So in the overview section, here will be a top bar, like a Google bar. And you can say, if you are writing something or you want to do something, you will say H single big pain point. And then it will give you all the relevant suggestion from your market research, from your website, in a kind of a Google search kind of thing. So there also then you can leverage that, or you can just tell your content developer that these are the items that you need to really cover in this landing page. So that way, this software gives you a lot of connection back from your market research. And it's just I touch only sales part, but there's also part where you can generate some blog content. You can summarize the existing text. You can rewrite the existing text. Or you can, for example, if you have a competitor website, you can go to each of them, their URL. You can define how much length of summary you want to generate. This summary, if it is generated from this URL, you can go here in the workflow and rewrite this. When you rewrite, just also try to preserve your domain specific knowledge, so it will not spin the text in a direction which is bit like away. So it's regenerated its text based on 96.46% semantic similarity. You can also see some more powered words or emotional words you can use. It depends on the text, of course. It's become large and get more suggestions here. Then it comes here AI content writer, where you can start with a unique content idea. Still, we need to make sure that we are in the same projects and topics, so that's why it is important. But suppose I want to create a content. Let's say I have right how to get more months using online online virtual virtual events. Okay, I keep it US, but you can select the country. And then you have different types of the based on headlines formula, based on a block tool formula, the best select block tool. You can again, of course, verify your niche. It's important because if you are wrong place and you are giving some wrong input here, then it mess up, right? So my main topic of interest of this blog, main topic of interest of my blog is how to generate more sales and engagements using online virtual by posting an online. You are with me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And then we give it some more inputs. So, in which topic do you want to categorize your blog? So let's call it event online event management. What problem does this blog solve for your readers? So this blog will, when reader will read this, will give them information how to organize the online virtual events to get more sales and brand value. Let's try to do variation so we don't repeat the same thing. Okay, then last one. After they read, I want to give them opportunity to sign up for a for a free trial to my event management planning software, right? So these initial input, hopefully they make sense, right?
Yeah. And obviously, because there's already a structure for the page, and obviously what's the call to action, what's the problem, what's the benefit, that then the AI then crawls content and then obviously matches it into the...
Yeah, it's rather instead of crawling content, we are trying to generate intelligence based on our initial input. It gives you a very nice structure. What your blog should be, your blog outline should be start with introduction. Second headline should be benefit of hosting a virtual event. Then it gives you more idea like hosting an online virtual event is effective way to connect with your audience and generate more leads. be hosting a virtual. So you are going what you are going to do, being as a blogger, you are going to expand on this structure. So
Yes.
you don't want AI to write everything for you. You want AI to give you a structure to start with. So you are going to then find more relevant content in the other side. So this is a combo of AI generated data and its intelligence, you can say here, and it's all competitor and the Google data which comes when I search this thing in the Google. So if I go into Google, I write more detailed thing like how to get more engagement using online virtual event. That is that is exactly what you do in the Google nowadays, right? You
Yeah.
just go and say online engagement or a virtual event. You really ask it a question, and it will give you a specific pages where it ranks those content. So we are trying to combine this both intelligence from the AI and the information from the Google. Now you see, I have got a structure A, B, C, D,
Yeah.
right? I need to put my body here of this blog. It should says body should have this. I think we missed some part here, but we are also working on this. It sometimes with random is very difficult to control the output of this thing, but the thing, the nice thing is like it becomes more and more specific of what we want it. An idea here was not to write full blog for you, but give you a structure. And there should be conclusions for like this. Now you have a lot of things here to inherit and to work on. The thing is, you can also spin this text slightly, so you have a different structure here, rewritten in a way which is 89.83% semantically original to the text, and you can take it as your initial draft and put it here, right?
Okay.
And expand this content. What we are trying to do, because it's also for us to learn how customer interact with this. So all this data which you see on this side, left side, we want to semantically get most relevant data what AI has suggested to us. So not everything as it is from Google, but sort it in a way. If these paragraphs are still sorted in a relevant order, but this relevancy is only captured by this headline. So whatever it is relevant first to this headline, sort this paragraph. But we want to go one step further. We want to say not only on this headline, but what is the structure that is produced by AI. Give me all the relevant things. So this will be our enhancement for the next version. I'm already trying to make it clear like what is currently you can have expectation and what future expectation you can have from the tool. So
Yeah.
you get headlines, you get paragraphs, you get all the topics, questions, reviews currently not coming because of a small bug. You get back your old research done. You can generate the topic clusters on this website. So what topics are already targeted here, and this way you can already kind of benefit from this being a content developer more from a blog point of view. And what I showed you earlier was all kind of scripts, that webinar scripts, landing scripts. Those are all here as well. So it's a combination of both the blogging content, but also sales-based content.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so then what I want to touch in this detailed demo is also this tool also offer you a whole suite of search engine optimization approach, and this is more based on semantic SEO. So it also fill you gap for what you get from SEMrush and other, but not as detailed or extensive as other established tool in the market. And also, it's not the idea to replace those established tool in the market, but give you a head start in terms of the semantic part of your SEO. And when I say semantic, I mean something different. What I mean with this, like the readability aspect, reading ease, reading time, content length, internal URL linking, how you link them, external URL, what
Yeah.
kind of sentiments, content type on your website, sentiment analysis, what kind of sentiments people see, kind of crawl depth. So, are there a lot of orphan pages on your website? How you're clustering the content in your website? So, there's a lot of information which comes with some actionable ideas and insight. I think this part is little underestimated, or not people are not looking at this, but it also comes with a lot of information, which of course not replacing the other established tool, but at least extra validation for you. It's like we don't want to start directly from SEO. We want to start first from market research, deep dive into market research, and as your client develop more case studies, more testimonials, his team, more business FAQs you can get here. All his asset links you can get arranged here. So then these are used in the content creation process later. So these asset links, thesis link, bet, case studies, sales pages, all these links you can attach here. And when we create content process, we'll map all this information back. Also, you can save these insights, which I showed you here in the beginning. You can generate insights and you save those insights. Once those insights are saved, our goal in the future is also to use this. It's really very in-depth insight because it's all also AI generated. So like content, we are not generating content here, but we are asking AI to give us insights. When I say insights, these are really educational, actionable steps that you can perform in order to know your target audience more deeper. As compared to other tools, their purpose is more to optimize for SEO or search engine. Here, our purpose is to more optimize it for our target audience. That's a big differentiation from rest of the tools that are there in the market. Does that make?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I will hard stop here, and if you have some more questions, please go ahead. You can have our deal directly from AppSumo page, but also you can go to our website and also get it from there. If you have more questions, feel free to drop here or directly to our team. We'll be more than happy to answer them.
Might be different. Can it spin blog posts if I give like a URL, for example, or a Google Doc, a pre-written blog? Can it reword that blog, or is that something different?
Not really the whole blog you can spin at this moment, but I showed you this thing like a rewriter where you can take some content and like if it's a small blog post or let's say if it's a small social media Facebook post, you want to spin it off and you can spin it 10 times and then get blog spin also.
Yeah.
The problem is if you put the whole 1500 words here, then it kind of generates same thing back because it's like kind of understood.
Oh, so you split it up and do like sections at a time.
Yeah, it sort of understood you so well enough that it tried to duplicate that. If you have that thing, and maybe perhaps it's a good idea for us to try it in a batches, so we can divide your content here into small batches and then rewrite it. So that could be improvement in our tool. But idea here is you can spin off still small text, which is more than 200 words, 250 words easily.
Oh, yeah, that's good. And what if I sort of, obviously I'll jump over now then and buy the deal for what's it called, AppSumo or whatever. What if I need more than 10 clients? If I've got 15, how does it work for the additional?
You can add 10 workspaces here. And if you get more clients, then maybe you can do another deal or you can upgrade to our plans because then these are more monthly plans.
Okay.
To upgrade, you get more advanced mapping from your market research. There is also very good community here on the Facebook group. There's a Facebook group on the tool. Because already you're quite good member. And a lot of information on the YouTube also. There are a lot of demos available, which we have done right now today in front of you. So that a lot of demos are also available. YouTube videos are available. And I hope you'll get value out of it. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, thanks for that. Anyway, because it's such a big product with so many features, and it's obviously so relatively like new to market, like this kind of technology. Definitely needed the call to go through it.
Sure. So thanks a lot for your time as well, and I'm looking forward to that we get in touch you go ahead with tool, try it out, and when you are having issues, of course, you can contact us. We also have a very active Slack community. So if you have very direct questions, already like people asking feedback or providing their introduction to each other, so that will help also to how other people are using. So have a great day ahead, and thanks a lot for joining this call. And I hope it was valuable for you.
All right, brilliant. Well, well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.